WrestleMania 34. Wham! Just like that, it's over. Every emotion we could have went through as a professional wrestling fan, we went through last night. So you would think that's an epic pay-per-view. We went through every emotion. We got the shocking moments, just everything you could ask for, right? Not necessarily the case. It was easily the most shocking WrestleMania of all time. But what I'm struggling with the morning after, as I make this video in front of you guys, I'm struggling with if this was a good shocking or if this was bad shocking. And we're going to go through match by match. And good old Benson is back for you new subscribers that don't know how this works. The good, the bad, and the ugly after a pay-per-view. We have the good, we have the bad, and we have the ugly. This is good old Benson. We're going to go through every single match on this card. And we're going to tally where it should be. Is each match going to go in the good, the bad, or the ugly? And at the end of this video, we are going to tally up all the goods, all the bads, and all the uglies. And we're going to determine together if this was a good pay-per-view or a bad pay-per-view. And you guys know, any tally that goes in the ugly column counts for 2 bads. So you want to stay away from the uglies. This WrestleMania, man, the first 3 hours I thought were brilliant. The last 2 hours, at times, very nauseating. The first 4 matches of this pay-per-view, I honestly thought this had the makings to be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, if not the greatest, because again, we were only 4 matches in, and we still had 7 matches to go if you included John Cena and Undertaker, which we all expected to happen even at that point. 7 matches to go, and we already saw 2 championships change hands with an incredible triple threat IC title match, and a decent, but served its purpose, United States Championship match that saw a new champion. We saw a Ronda Rousey clinic in the match of the night easily. And we saw the dream match that lived up to its expectations in Charlotte and Asuka. And that was the first 4 matches. Which coincidentally, in my amplified booking, the last video I made where I literally booked the card as I would book it, I had those first 4 matches basically in order, except for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. I had the Raw Women's Championship match in that spot. Maybe even the first 5. I think I may have even had the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in match 5. But I definitely had the first 4. And that goes to show you that it's when you're booking this shit, anybody who told you Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander have to kick off WrestleMania, and the reasoning is because eyeballs need to be brought to the product of 205 Live. No, this is WrestleMania. This event is not used for marketing campaigns and marketing tools and trying to get people to like something. You need to kick off with something that's going to be straight fire for everybody in attendance, for everybody watching around the world, not for 2 people that half the audience isn't even going to know. And you got to hope and pray that they like the flips and dives that they're watching so they can go to Tuesday nights and watch 205 Live. Because you had some people on this very fucking platform saying, Cedric and Alexander, BC, they're the ones that have to kick off the show, man. The big tournament, and people need to know who 205 is, and know who Mustafa and Cedric is. And I'm like, did your mama and your father drop you on your head one too many times as a kid? Are you fucking kidding me? You have Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and you throw in The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, a match that screams first match of WrestleMania to get everybody fucking fully invested and intrigued into the event itself. It screams that. It is that. That's the identity of that match. And people are trying to tell me the cruiserweights needed to start it off. When you damn well 50% of the audience wouldn't even know what a Mustafa Ali is or what a Cedric Alexander is. But BC, that's why they needed to be on the main show kicking it off. Nobody cared about it. That match was a dud. That was a dud. Sorry to tell ya. Sorry, not sorry. Trying to fucking tell me what should kick off the show. I know all about pacing. I know all about fucking getting the crowd absolutely on fire. And you don't get the crowd more on fire than this match, the IC Championship. You're damn right this match fucking delivered in every which fucking way. There is no other spot for this to go but the good. The first tally is in, and that is the Triple Threat IC Championship match. That goes in the good column on Benson. And that is because the pacing of this match was absolutely on point. The false finishes, the late saves, everything was on point. And The Miz telling the Miz Taraj to leave ringside, I got this. This went right from the beginning to show you that there was going to be no bogus finishes, no outside interference or distractions. This was going to be three men going for one of the top prizes in the industry. Or at least that's how it should be seen as anyway. And I had in my amplified booking Seth Rollins winning this motherfucker because I feel that would electrify the crowd the most. And that belt on Seth Rollins right now would do the most for him. And sure enough, that's what WWE decided to go with as well. Seth Rollins, and new IC champion, man. Really good match. Liked it. That was the match to kick this motherfucker off from the beginning. I'm glad WWE went that route. Really fucking good, man. Balor did awesome. Miz did awesome. And Seth Rollins stole the match. So not much more you can say about that. You could argue that Finn Balor could have benefited from that championship. I'm okay with that argument. I just think that championship needs to be on Seth Rollins right now. Finn Balor can be. It's tricky with Finn Balor, man. He is a superstar. I don't know if he's always booked that way. Former Universal Champion, so that shows you that Vince McMahon, at least at one point, had stock in him, had faith in him. But I think it's clear that Seth Rollins is a bigger superstar right now. I think he always was. And I think even bigger. And because the Universal Championship looks to be tied up, at least for the foreseeable future, I don't see how Seth Rollins can't be one of your second-in-commands. If you put Finn Balor over Seth Rollins, as far as tier level, who's better than who gets a higher ranking, if you put Balor over Rollins, I don't know if I agree with that. If you tell me Rollins is over Balor, I can agree with that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the match was great, and the outcome even better. Not just because I had that in my amplified booking, but I really feel that was the best match to kick off WrestleMania, man. And the crowd was on their feet and electric for the whole match. Badass. So again, good old Benson in match number 1. We got a tally in the good. We're off to a good start, WrestleMania. Then we went into the SmackDown Women's Championship match. The Dream Match. This motherfucker lived up to its hype. What a match, man. Charlotte and Asuka, I wanted to see them go another 10 minutes. I want to see a part 2 of these motherfuckers. A rubber match, even. Go one-on-one, go 1-for-1, and then a rubber match. But regardless, this match lived up to exactly what we knew it could. And at the end of this match, we were all floored. Shocked to our core as wrestling fans. You notice I'm not just saying me. I know we all were, because I gauged you guys last night as well. I was on social media frequently last night, as a lot of you guys on my Twitter know. We were shocked to the fucking core, man. There's no way any of us could have really knew. We could make fun predictions and wonder what if, but did any of us really know Charlotte was going to not only defeat Asuka, retain her championship, but in doing such, end the streak? Because that's what happened last night. Asuka's streak was ended. This is a streak that many of you might not even know. Started in NXT in October of 2015, guys. 3 years ago. Approximately 31, 32 months ago to be exact. 31 months ago, 32 months, whatever it is. 3 years. 2015. Undefeated. And in one moment of disarray, taps out to the figure 8. So you had, and stick with me, guys. I'm sorry if I'm pausing, hesitating, overthinking, maybe even stuttering at times. I'm literally talking about this event for the first time the morning after with you guys. So I'm really, as I'm talking about it, I'm really reliving it in my mind from last night. So stick with me. You had a phenomenal match. And it ended with a shocking twist. Plot twist. Phenomenal match. Shocking ending. All the makings. And I'm going to talk about us not agreeing with the ending in a second. But because the match was phenomenal. And it was a shocking ending that we can't agree was totally fucking horrible. And I'll explain in a second. I have to put this in the good. Charlotte and Asuka delivered last night. Charlotte and Asuka last night just fucking put on one of the matches of the night. And for that alone, that has to go in the good. There's no outcome that's going to alter that and allow me to explain. Because right now you're thinking, BC, what are you talking about? Asuka's streak ended on her first WrestleMania. I'm with you. If you watch this channel religiously from day one, you know I'm a huge Asuka fan before she even got to the main roster. So I'm with you. I was shocked to my fucking core. I was entertained, first and foremost. I was shocked. And then I was like, Asuka, no. Here's the fucking thing. If this was anybody else, maybe aside from Sasha, but anybody else other than Charlotte, this would easily go into, I think even the great match that they had, I think it would have to go into the ugly. It would have to. But because this was Charlotte, and we know she is one of the two best wrestlers on the roster right now, Sasha Banks and Charlotte. We all can agree on that. Whether you love or hate Sasha, whether you love or hate Charlotte, I gauged you guys pretty good this last year. I think we all agree those are the two top actual wrestlers for the women. So the fact that Charlotte actually did this, as much as I'm a huge Asuka fan, I'll be the first to admit, and I'm more of an Asuka fan than Charlotte. I will admit that. Sorry, Charlotte fans. But if I'm being honest with you, I'm more of an Asuka fan. I've studied Asuka a lot more even. I just know a lot more about Asuka. Maybe not more. I know just as much about Charlotte, but I'm a fan more of Asuka. There's no other way to put it. But putting my bias aside, I will admit Charlotte's a better all-around wrestler. Asuka has that real strong style, and she's got a good ground game. Charlotte is the full package. So you have one of the best two wrestlers on the roster do that last night. I don't know how I can sit here and say they shouldn't have done that just to protect a streak. Because then what that does, guys, is somebody who's better than somebody, a Charlotte who's better than Asuka, she gets defeated. She gets demoted back into the mid-card where Sasha has fucking cuddled into. And thanks to booking. And now Asuka gets to go on and have all these fucking WrestleMania main events and all that, all because she has this streak that we all put so much stock into. So I guess what I'm saying here is at one point this streak had to come to the end. There's going to be better wrestlers coming up too. Ember Moon, we know, can go toe-to-toe with Asuka, for instance. Down the road when Ember gets called up, which I hope is tonight or tomorrow on SmackDown, because she lost her NXT Championship Saturday night. I hope fucking Ember Moon is ready to go. And then what happens? Asuka keeps beating Ember on the main roster just like she did in NXT. When Sasha and Asuka meet, whether they meet 2-3 times in the future, does Asuka keep having to fucking beat Sasha? Charlotte and Asuka, match number 2, if they ever have a fucking rematch. Asuka has to keep winning. What I'm saying is, there is better. I love Asuka, but there is better. So how important is this fucking streak? It's a feel-good moment, yes, but it also comes with it baggage. What baggage? Every time Asuka fights, you know she's gonna win. And we could do this for years. We could do what we originally thought. And she keeps the streak all the way to WrestleMania 35 and maybe Ronda Rousey breaks it. But my point is, we could do this for months. We could do this for years. The final outcome is going to be that one shocking moment at the end. Oh my God, the streak is over. Undertaker had a streak for 20-something years at WrestleMania. And that came to an end, and it was a shocking moment, but we all went on. We all lived with it afterwards. Did it take 20-something years for that to happen? Was it a more meaningful defeat? No, people were still pissed off about it. Nobody was thrilled that, it took 20-something years, so I'm okay with him ending the streak now. No, they were even more pissed because it went longer. So maybe Vince McMahon learned his lesson. Shit, we can't keep this too long because people are going to be really fucking upset. Forever. If we have somebody like Charlotte defeat Asuka, they're going to get the treatment that fucking Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns get when they beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. They're going to get the harsh treatment. So maybe Vince McMahon said, you know what, we can't keep this too fucking long. Because there's more negative than positive. I hope you guys are keeping up with what I'm saying here. I understand what a big moment this was. I understand you could have dragged this out a bit more, this streak. But what I'm saying is, the person that beat her last night was, and you know I hate this word, was more than deserving to end that streak. Charlotte is more than deserving. Doesn't matter if she was already made, because nothing will ever please people that just don't like it. For Charlotte, they'll say she was already made. She already had her runs. She's not even close to her prime. Trust me. She's going to enter that in a year or two. That's how good fucking Charlotte is. You want to fucking... And then if it was somebody newer, they would have complained about that. Oh, it's somebody new. They had so much time left in their career. This didn't have to happen. If Ember Moon came up. Or someone like that. There's always going to be the people that just wanted to see this streak go and go and go. And not get taken away until later. Years from now, maybe. But those are the same people that years from now, they'll be bitching and moaning then too. A streak is made to be broken at some point. Vince let The Undertaker go 20-something years. Asuka, he felt there was other ways he needed to go with the division, and one woman cannot be holding the whole thing hostage. That's a good thing for you guys. Maybe Ronda Rousey won't just be winning, won't have a streak. Maybe Ronda Rousey will have fucking losses and ebbs and flows in her career. Everyone thought Rousey might be fucking undefeated for years. Who knows? You know? But I think Charlotte... There's no I think. Charlotte was more than deserving. But to be totally upset that a streak was broken, don't lose focus. It's professional wrestling, guys. At some point, Sasha has to beat Asuka. At some point, Charlotte has to beat Asuka. At some point, Ember Moon has to get the revenge on Asuka. At some point, wrestlers have to beat a person. You know, Undertaker had a streak, but it was a WrestleMania streak. Undertaker wasn't just undefeated all the time, man. You're looking at somebody who just never loses a match, ever. As an Asuka fan, I'll be the first to admit, she's actually not that good, guys. She's good, really good. Not that fucking good. So as much as I'm still weary about it, I'm still feeling some type of way about it, I can at least say, I'm good with it. It was a phenomenal match and an epic ending that still has us fucking shocked to our core. No matter what, it went into the good. If for nothing else, the match alone. And I'm still, like I said, shocked to this very fucking morning. Match number 3. We go into the United States Championship. It was a fatal 4-way. You had Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode. You had Rusev, and you had the champion Randy Orton. From the first 2 matches, kicking it off in such a high gear with the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match, and then you went into the dream match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then you went into the United States Championship match. The U.S. Championship match, there was no way they could follow the first 2 matches. No way you could follow that. And they didn't. They went out there and they had a subpar match, but it served its purpose. Everyone got in their spots. Everyone got a little bit of spotlight. There were some cool spots on top of that. Randy Orton clearing the ring with RKOs, one of the epic moments for me. I love the RKOs out of nowhere. You guys know that. There was that moment where everybody was laid out like I had an amplified booking. And Rusev was just standing tall in the middle of the ring. Everyone's knocked out and the whole crowd's chanting Rusev Day, man. Almost 80,000 strong. So you did have little moments in that match. But what needed to happen, happened. What needed to happen, the match, let me just say, and I think I already said this, it served its purpose perfectly. Jinder Mahal ends up winning this match, becomes the new United States champion, and I know people at first are kind of like, not happy with that. That was Rusev's moment. But again, look at how Rusev was put in this match just 2 weeks ago because he won a nonsensical tag team match. And then he went to Daniel Bryan and said, I want to be there. And Daniel Bryan said, okay. And then he wins one match last week against Jinder Mahal. And all of a sudden you throw a U.S. championship on him. Everyone thought that was going to be the epic moment for Rusev, but no. Guys, Rusev has already had the United States Championship. Not once, but twice. The belt didn't do anything for Rusev. I always tell you guys, the belt doesn't make the man makes the belt. First, we gotta make the man. We gotta make Rusev. Last night was a shining moment for Rusev. Whether he lost or not doesn't make a difference. Whether he won or not doesn't make a difference. He ended up losing, alright, but he had his moment last night where everyone saw this guy can be a star. Now what you do if you're WWE, I love this. You give it to Jinder Mahal. I wouldn't even have this at the next SmackDown pay-per-view. I would draw this out to SummerSlam. Really build up Rusev. Build up the man. So that when the man gets the title, the man is making the title, not vice versa. Not the other way around. Build up Rusev. And at SummerSlam, I would have this dastardly heel, Jinder Mahal, this U.S. champion. Nobody wants him as champion. He's always cheating. He's always fucking being the ruthless heel. And I want, at SummerSlam, in Brooklyn, New York, a hot crowd. That's where Rusev has his fucking moment. He wins the United States Championship, but this time, it means something. This time, it's an ultimate payoff. I know I'm future booking here, but I just feel this was the right way to go here. Put that championship on a heel right now. It went from Bobby Roode to Randy Orton, face. That championship needs a solid heel right now. Whether you think Jinder Mahal is that solid heel or not, Jinder Mahal can be. And let's not forget, he was a world heavyweight champion for over 6 fucking months. He can't just totally fall from grace. He can do the deed and let somebody else get one more ultimate payoff. Why not let that be Rusev? Throwing the championship right now at him at WrestleMania, I'm telling you guys, they wouldn't know how to book him going forward, and that belt on him would be a dud. Rusev would be a dud. I liked it. The match served its purpose. Could have been better, but certainly it's not going to qualify to go into a bad section. So the match was subpar, but what needed to happen, happened. It served its purpose. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the good, guys. 3 straight matches, 3 straight matches, and 3 straight good tallies in the good column. So WrestleMania is off to a good start. A really good fucking start. Could match number 4 in that slot keep the momentum going? Match number 4 was Ronda Rousey's debut in WWE match-wise, tagging up with Kurt Angle to take on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Could this match, I was going to say live up to expectations, but we didn't have any expectations. We didn't know what the fuck to think from Ronda Rousey. We knew she was training. I told you guys for many months that I'm hearing her training is going exceptionally well and she was a natural. Kind of like when everyone said Charlotte Flair's a natural, I was telling you guys that's what I was hearing. But I didn't see any full 10-minute tapes on Ronda Rousey. So even I, like you guys, didn't know what to expect. Alls we could ask for is match number 4, keep the momentum going, and keep WrestleMania 34 going in the right direction. This ended up being the match of the night for me. Ronda Rousey stole the fucking show. It was so great to see Kurt Angle back in there, but Ronda Rousey stole the show so fucking epically, I have to go back and rewatch Kurt Angle's moments and spots because Ronda Rousey owned that bitch. That bitch meaning that match, that bitch meaning WrestleMania. Exceeded expectations, yes, but did we even have any? We just thought she was going to go out there, try to rehearse some spots, try to look decent, don't fuck up. Aren't these the things we all were thinking about? Just don't make a mockery of this, Ronda. Just try to do your best. Don't fuck up. Fuck, man. This is going to be okay, or this is going to be a train wreck. I don't think any of us thought this would be the match of the fucking night. I could not be more proud of Ronda. There was moments in this match where she is stalking Stephanie McMahon and saying, come on, bitch. There was moments in this match where she lifted Triple H on her shoulders. Stephanie McMahon missed her cue. She was supposed to come in sooner, and pulled Triple H off of Ronda, she missed her cue by like an extra 5 seconds. So for 10 seconds, Ronda's got Triple H on her shoulder like, yeah, motherfucker. There was moments in this match where Ronda Rousey said, I want Triple H. Come here, bitch. Triple H puts the referee in the corner, and Ronda Rousey lights that motherfucker up for 10 to 15 seconds. Armbar, where Ronda Rousey, the selling that Ronda was doing, not just when she was getting beat up, which was few and in between, thankfully, because you don't want that fucking happening too much in this match. The selling that she did when she was about to snap Stephanie McMahon's arm when she looked down and said, you did this to yourself. And she started trash talking like only Ronda can do. And then she just snaps back. And I love for Stephanie. This was epic. She didn't wait 3 seconds, you know, and try to fucking drag it out. The second Ronda snapped back, Stephanie starts tapping viciously and vigorously. Loved it. Fucking A, man. Perfect story told. I cannot tell you how unnatural, exceeded expectations. These are all things we're hearing about Ronda Rousey. It doesn't do it justice. If you did not see WrestleMania, if you saw this match only one time, go back and watch it a million more. Ronda Rousey just showed you, while she is a future champion multiple times, I don't want this just to be a 1 year and done. She was in like Sports Illustrated or some interview, and she was talking about, I had to try this before I start a family, because she wants to start a family soon. That goes to tell me she signed, like, you know, she wanted to do this for a year straight, get it out of her system. If it doesn't work out, she's going to go. I'm all for people wanting to have a family, but fucking A, the next 3 years, I would just do this if I'm Ronda Rousey, because you have a new career. You have an awesome career in UFC. You can now put that on the shelf. You can now fucking dominate WWE, man, and be one of the top stars. I'm telling you. I'm not saying she's as finessed as Sasha or Charlotte, but I'm saying she is easily one of the top stars up with them now. That one match proved what this she can do. She's a natural beyond a shadow of a doubt. She went out there. Guys, I cannot preach this enough. Watching this shit for 30 plus years and watching pro wrestling in just a different way. I've just always critiqued it in a different way. I've always just been so invested in pro wrestling a different way, and that's why this channel is successful. Because I think you guys see that in the way I watch wrestling, professional wrestling, and I'm telling you, confidence is one of the most important fucking things. If you have 100% confidence and only 50% talent, you're still probably going to walk away with a good match. But I have seen so many bad matches come from lack of confidence. Not only did Ronda Rousey have the talent last night, Ronda Rousey had confidence like no one else I've seen in professional wrestling before her, for the women. The confidence she brought, she was running around that ring like she was doing a marathon sprint. Fucking or the fucking 50-yard dash, the 40-yard dash. She was sprinting like a cheetah could not catch Ronda Rousey last night. Maybe Braun Strowman, that motherfucker can run for a big brute. But Ronda was running, she was just in this zone. It didn't look like there was an ounce of failure that could even be reached in her last night. It didn't even look like failure was an option in her eyes last night. Fucking A! Ronda Rousey stole WrestleMania last night. I wish there was a great column, an epic column on Benson. Ronda fucking Rousey last night, man. That goes in the fucking good column. Obviously. Fucking obviously. I wish it was a great column. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon served their purpose beautifully to a T. Stephanie McMahon, big props to her. How often does she wrestle? How about once in a blue moon would be an understatement. Stephanie went in there and she rocked her position in the match. But this night was owned by Ronda Rousey. Unbelievably fucking epic. There's a lot more to go on, otherwise I'd go on another hour about this. Match number 5. So now we have, on Benton, we have 4 good. There's nothing in the bad, nothing in the ugly. WrestleMania is off to a fucking epic start. Epic. At this moment in time, the Amplified Man is actually saying this could not only be a great WrestleMania, If the next 7 matches are anywhere close to this, we could be talking about WrestleMania 34 as the best WrestleMania of all time. Could match number 5 keep the momentum going? Unfortunately not. This was the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. This was a triple threat match with the Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers. And unfortunately, guys, this match was not a train wreck, but it was the exact definition of a schmaz. Because I expected more. We talked about not expecting anything from Ronda Rousey that match because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know her talent level. We didn't know the chemistry between anyone. But with this match, I expected a lot because it's the Usos and the New Day. And then it's simple. It's a simplistic booking. The Bludgeon Brothers at the very end of this match, no matter what happens in the middle of the match with them, the start and the middle, the ending, they totally dominate all 5 competitors, all 3 New Day members and the Usos. And the Bludgeon Brothers stand tall with the straps. The match ended with the Bludgeon Brothers claiming victory and holding up those straps. So proud for and happy for Luke Harper. I hate the word deserves, but he actually does deserve that championship in that spot in some limelight. Luke Harper is really good for a big guy. And the Bludgeon Brothers reign supreme. So I want to put this in the good, but I can't because the match, not only did it not live up to expectations, but it went below them. In fact, the match ended with the Bludgeon Brothers just doing a simplistic powerbomb on Kofi Kingston. That's not how you... The New Day and the Usos at WrestleMania, and that's what they put on? You add in the Bludgeon Brothers, and they claim victory by a powerbomb on Kofi Kingston, and that's it? No destruction. I'm not saying you had to overbook this, but with those 3 teams for the championships... Sorry, guys. We got one in the bad. You have to book that a little better. Even if it's just the ending and making the Bludgeon Brothers looking more impactful and powerful. Or if the ending is subpar, but the middle of the match, the main focal point of the match, have the New Day and the Usos at their very best. At least for 5 to 10 minutes, I'll take. The match just left a lot more to be desired. Or should I say maybe not, since we've seen the New Day and the Usos so many times before. Hopefully that ends their whole feud, or lack thereof. Now it's Bludgeon Brothers time. Now the excitement really starts. Can we start talking about the authors of pain? Bludgeon Brothers, authors of pain. SummerSlam 2018, Brooklyn, New York. Book that shit, Vince. Or I will in my amplified booking for SummerSlam. After 5 matches, guys, we got 4 in the good, 1 in the bad. So we got to get back on that good column. Can match number 6 get us back on the good column? Well, this was the Undertaker and John Cena impromptu match. I like the way this was done. Throughout the whole event beforehand, they kept on showing John Cena in the crowd as a fan. Then all of a sudden a referee comes to him, tells him some news. We're thinking it's somebody like The Undertaker telling him that he's arrived and they want a match. John Cena jumps the barricade. He runs up the ramp like Ronda Rousey running around the ring. Or like Braun Strowman running backstage. Like a fucking cheetah, John Cena is flying to the back to put on his gear. So we're all thinking Undertaker, right? We knew Vince McMahon was going to throw us a curveball. We knew The Undertaker would eventually show up. But we knew there'd be a curveball first. That curveball was in the likes of Elias. The lights drop. The crowd goes nuts thinking it's The Undertaker. And it's Elias playing a tune out to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. Loved it. And this match was obviously squash. John Cena totally annihilated Elias. I know Elias fans are not going to like that. But Elias served its purpose. Don't worry, guys. For a guy who wasn't on the card, he had a pretty big moment. I think you could carry this on in a good storyline. Hopefully he doesn't become a joke. But I didn't mind that. Elias got some spotlight. He got to sing his way down the ramp. And he got in there and mixed it up with John Cena at the biggest stage of them all. Not too shabby. And then, after Elias goes down and out, that's when The Undertaker, that's when the fun started. John Cena exits the ring, the crowd's booing because there was no Undertaker. And then the lights go out. And when they go on a tad, you have the hat and the coat from last year's WrestleMania that Undertaker left in the middle of the ring. The hat and the coat were in the middle of the ring, just like The Undertaker left them a year ago. All of a sudden, 2 lightning bolts strike down on the hat and the coat. An explosion. The gong, the lights go fucking up again or down again. Who knows what they went on and off and lightning and all the shit that we've been waiting for the past couple of months. And all of a sudden, here's the Undertaker's music, and it's the Dead Man. We all felt the American Badass would be best because we thought this was going to be the Undertaker's final ride off into the sunset. The Undertaker didn't look like he was going anywhere last night. The Undertaker comes out. It's an official match. It was not a fight. We thought it could be a fight because the Undertaker was retired, maybe. No, he was not retired. It is official. The Undertaker is not retired. The referee rang the bell. There were some people out there that just argued to me for the whole year. He's retired, BC. Let him be, man. He's retired, BC. And I kept telling you, no, he ain't. He never said he was. You may think he did. He never retired. And The Undertaker, he could just show up for schmaz squash matches at WrestleMania for 10 years. Don't tell me he's retired until he says he's retired. And sure enough, the ref rang the bell, and that was a match. And it was a quick one. A squash. Undertaker defeated John Cena in a squash match. John Cena squashed on the biggest stage of the year. That's huge. But I love the story. I love the story. First of all, that's probably all The Undertaker can do. But he looked jacked up. He looked badass. The Undertaker looked good. He looked like a guy who will be at WrestleMania 35. Maybe a rematch with John Cena. Who knows? But I like this. John Cena going forward can literally keep the storyline going that he cannot win a match lately. Not just the big match. He cannot win a match when it counts the most. He can continue that through SummerSlam, and he'll win that match at SummerSlam, and John Cena will get his mojo back. He'll get that confidence, and John Cena will be the John Cena of old, I promise you. But in the meantime, let's love this storyline. Undertaker came back. Basically, it's simple for Undertaker. You bring my wife into this, you call out my manhood, I'm going to destroy you. And The Undertaker needed to win this, whether it was squash or not, whether you like that or not, guys. Undertaker could not go flat on his back again. He did it for Brock. He did it for Roman. He does it 1 year later after Roman to John Cena. Undertaker now became a joke at WrestleMania. He goes from having this epic streak, the king of WrestleMania, to a joke. You can't have that. So whether it was squash or a 30-minute match, John Cena had to lose that match. And I don't think they wanted to blow out Undertaker's wheel. So Undertaker, I think that's what they knew ahead of time. And I think that's why Undertaker didn't want to promote this too far in advance. Because Undertaker wasn't sure exactly what he could give. But he was looking good in there. Not just his physique, his movements. He was climbing the ropes. He was walking the ropes again. He was jumping in the air, landing on that motherfucking both wheels. Getting some height. Dropping tombstones, choke slams. That was the Undertaker we love. I saw nothing in that motherfucker that doesn't say at 54 years old at WrestleMania 35, right here, New York City, he ain't gonna rock that motherfucker one more time. Anyway, where does this go? Yes, it was a squash match. Would have liked, I mean, we're thinking to ourselves, 2 to 3 months build up for that? For a fucking 5-minute squash? But who the fuck cares? The Undertaker was back at WrestleMania competing. And an epic storyline will develop from this with John Cena and his losing streak on the big stage. And he's got to find himself again. This will be a fun story going forward. So just seeing The Undertaker alone, first of all, guys, I ain't got to explain myself anymore. That's a good. We got a full 5 tally now. Undertaker was back. He defeats John Cena. Yes. Would we have liked to see a little bit longer? The whole 2 to 3 month build was just for that? But there might be a bigger story at play here. We're going to have to wait. Maybe we find out more tonight. But The Undertaker came back, first of all, and he fucking dominated. He rocked that bitch, and he made WrestleMania his bitch. Ain't no way that's going in the bad or the ugly. That's in the good. So after, 6 matches now, guys. 6? Is it 6? What the fuck? I can speak, right? What is it, 5? 6. Yeah, 6 matches, man. We got 5 good, 1 bad. WrestleMania is back on track. And match number 6... keep this momentum flowing. So match number 7 is going to be Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't even need to we talk about overbooking sometimes. I don't need to over-talk this match. I don't need to over-discuss, over-analyze. This was a match that saw Shane McMahon at top form, going from one turnbuckle to the next into Sami Zayn's face. Shane McMahon flying all around. Daniel Bryan at the beginning of this match gets taken out early, literally to the back by medical staff. But we knew he was coming back, and when he came back with a vengeance. Daniel Bryan looked like the Daniel Bryan of old, flying all around that ring, drop kicks, fucking, you got the suicide kicks, you had the yes kicks, hurricanranas. Just, this was Daniel Bryan, the fast pace, but just captivating you every bit of the way. This was the Daniel Bryan we saw at WrestleMania 30, man. It didn't look like he lost a step. It didn't look like he had 3 years off. It just didn't. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, two of my favorites in this industry to actually watch because they're just so captivating for me. I got to see them last night against Zayn and Owens, two of arguably some of the best in the world at what they do. Obviously, this match went right into the good column. And again, nothing overbooked here. It was just a victory by Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Love it. And the story, don't worry about Zayn and Owens, guys. The story is actually better with them losing. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, Zayn and Owens, but what happens with them? This doesn't make sense. Guys, it's going to be a fun story. They could be jumping the barricade on the next few SmackDowns in street clothes, causing havoc again. That's fun. Trying to get their job back, and then all of a sudden, the fucking commissioner and the fucking GM, whoever it is, if it's still Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, I doubt it will be after tomorrow night. I think somebody else will be named new. Maybe both, the commissioner and the general manager. Who knows? But maybe eventually they just have enough, and they're like, we'll give you one more fucking opportunity, and the deck is stacked against them, and they ultimately prevail. Or do you have Zayn and Owens go over to Raw and create chaos? To the point where their general manager and commissioner say, you know what? You got fucking spunk, you got balls, we know you got talent. We're going to give you contracts here. Just stop fucking up my roster. You know, Kurt Angle could be like that. You keep jumping the barricade, you keep attacking my roster. Listen, you want a contract? Fight your way for it. And at the next Raw pay-per-view, Zayn and Owens maybe earn their contract. There's so many things you could do is what I'm saying. Don't worry about Zayn and Owens. They're going to be fine. There's so many creative ways I could have them come back and get contracts with Raw or SmackDown. So the real focal point here was you cannot have Daniel Bryan return after 3 years, especially to New Orleans, and lose that motherfucking match. There was no way possible. So I don't care what the fuck happened in the match. You have to have Daniel Bryan. I really don't. There's not often I'm going to say that. I don't care what happens in the match. You're not really going to hear me say that often. But this is one of those moments. Daniel Bryan had to win that match because what the booking of Daniel Bryan in the future depended on that. It really did. So Daniel Bryan wins that match with Shane McMahon. And the match was actually good too. For Shane McMahon not wrestling a lot at all, and Daniel Bryan coming back after 3 years, they went toe-to-toe with Zayn and Owens as if they were wrestling 300 days a year out of 365. I mean, it looked like Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan have been traveling with the roster every fucking tour. And night after night, they've been wrestling. They just didn't miss a step last night. So, I'll shut up about it now, guys, but that easily went into the good. So now we have 6 good and 1 bad. 6 good and 1 bad through 7 matches. There's only 4 left. So easily, this is not only going to be a good pay-per-view, this is going to be a fucking great, maybe the greatest, right? But then came the last hour or two. And that's where everything went tragically fucking wrong. We'll start off with match number 8. This is Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss. Now listen. Listen closely here, guys. This was not over the top bad at all. They actually did okay. Alright? I know. They did okay. For what Nia can do in the ring, that was it, guys. I'm not bashing her because I just said they did. I could easily be bashing this match like everyone else is probably on this platform and everyone on the dirt sheets. I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you honestly, guys, truthfully, that's the best Nia can do. Alexa Bliss, maybe a little better with somebody that can go a little bit faster, but Alexa Bliss was never fast-paced either. Don't believe me? Go back and watch those Sasha matches. Or reluctantly, go back and watch the Bayley matches. You can pick any match with Alexa Bliss. She was never known for her fast-paced either. So, Alexa Bliss, not too much better can she do than what you saw last night. That was what they can bring to the table. At least they brought it. So it was not over the top bad, but guys, there was no way I could put this in the good column. You left off Sasha Banks, and a lot of this isn't even through the fault of their own. A lot of this isn't even Alexa or Nia's fault. Booking alone is why this is going to be placed where it's about to be placed. You left off Sasha and Bayley. They were in some nonsensical battle royal. Can I just say this? We went through that whole WrestleMania main show. Sasha Banks wasn't even on it. Think about that. A mainstay, one of the big focal points of the last two WrestleManias. Your top superstar along with Charlotte for the women on your roster. I don't give a fuck about your brand. On your whole roster, WWE roster. One of the two top female talents, and she's not even on your main show, man. The Battle Royal and the spot she had with Bayley throwing her over, that was it. And then she got thrown over and she just looked at Bayley like, fuck, you got me again. That was Sasha Banks' whole moment. Wasn't even a moment. Sorry, I just had to, I can't believe. I mean, I wanted to think in the back of my mind, maybe they have something for Sasha, but then I remembered it's Vince McMahon. The guy literally cannot stand Sasha Banks, so there's no way he's got anything else for Sasha. Anyway, my point is, you left off Sasha and Bayley. And can I just say, if you watched the pre-show, I gotta say this, I gotta mention this, guys. I gotta get this off my fucking chest here. Go back and watch the moment in that Battle Royal where Bayley and Sasha were the last two, so we thought. I'll get to that, maybe. No, I won't, actually. It's the fucking pre-show. They're the last two before Naomi fucking showed up. And Naomi ended up fucking throwing over fucking Bayley. But you go back and watch when they thought they were the last two. It was Bayley and Sasha in the ring. The crowd got up on their feet. You would have thought that was a WrestleMania moment on the main show. You know why? Because we've been trying to tell you, Vince, that's the match that should have been for the strap on the main show. Look at how invested that crowd was just to see Bayley and Sasha go face to face. Not even a fucking actual match. That happened in the pre-show last night. But in match number 8, that late into the event, match number 8, they put on the Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, and the crowd could not have cared less. They didn't even give a fuck about the match. And again, they did okay. They did okay. They did. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether other people are saying it was the most trashiest match in the... It was not. Get the fuck out of here. Let's be real. On this channel, we don't just spew bullshit. I'm saying I don't agree with that match being where it was or even on the main show. But listen, guys. Actually, it should have been on the main show. But it should have been a different match. It should have been Sasha and Bayley. But I'm not going to fucking bullshit you guys, man. I've seen much worse women's matches and championship matches. The match was okay. But the problem is it needed to be more than okay. Because not only should it have been two different competitors, Sasha and Bayley, but they had to go out there, and if Nia was to win the match, which I feel should have happened then, if you're going to have those two fight for the strap, then Nia at least has to get it, be the big brute, and at SummerSlam drop it. But it has to be in an epic way. Now, yes, a fucking Samoan drop from the second turnbuckle, that was pretty cool, but that was it. 1, 2, 3, the crowd was kind of like, whoa, and that was it. Nothing in that match grabbed me. If you're going to have that match instead of Sasha and Bayley, and if you're going to have that match in the 8th match slot, you better have something really, really cool planned. I don't even care if Carmella did come down, try to cash in, and she actually failed. Something more. Something fun. More of a moment. Because Vince knew. Vince isn't an idiot. He knew that people were not into this match. And you put him in number 8 as far as match slot, and you give us just that? Again, it's not even just their fault alone. I thought the match, for what they can do, was okay. But that's the problem. They can do okay in that ring. It's WrestleMania. We want more than okay. The finish shouldn't have just been okay. The participants in that match shouldn't have just been able to put on an okay performance. Sasha and Bayley would have put on a WrestleMania-esque performance. And we saw them go face-to-face in a fucking pre-show. No choice here, guys. It's got to go in the bad. And it wasn't even a fully bad match. But if you put everything together, which is what we do, especially on this show, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we put it all together into the total package, That's a bad. Sorry. Maybe if you put this sooner in the event, maybe it wouldn't have been there. That's a very slim maybe. But at this point, guys, through 8 matches, we have 6 good and 2 in the bad. Match number 9, we went over to the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship. One of the 2 double main events. The 2 main events here were really the championship matches, or at least that's how we were looking at it. This especially was a dream match. Vince decided not to put this on last. Half of me says kind of glad he didn't, because it did not perform at all what I thought it was. But then the other half means that we would have gotten what we got, which was Lesnar and Reigns. So, beggars can't be choosers. We got it where it was, the match number 9 slot. Styles, maybe he was more injured than we thought the last month, because that did not look like Styles was fully confident. That did not look like AJ Styles was himself. He had a couple of his spots. He hit his little 450. Actually, I don't even know if he fucking actually hit it. I think he went onto Shinsuke's knees. That was a cool spot, by the way. He did his forearm. He had his little spots here and there, but that was not the AJ Styles that we're used to. That is not the match we saw in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That match was easily better than this. Easily. I don't know what that was last night. Shinsuke did not show everything that he can deliver to the table, and I told you guys that's what he needed to do. Because I think there's a big percentage of fans that are still not on board with Shinsuke Nakamura. Last night, he had to show everything, and he did not do that. That was a subpar performance. AJ Styles, that was not AJ Styles at all. Together, that dream match was a dream dud. Like Alexa and Nia, it was an okay match. I could have seen that at SmackDown Live and been just as happy. I was not thrilled at that, guys. That was a dream match that did not live up anywhere near to its expectations, man. And again, I can be overcritical because I know these two pretty damn good. I followed their careers extensively. And there is no way that is either of their best. I don't know what happened, man. They gave them decent time, I felt. I don't feel their storytelling was really slow-paced. You gotta, with those two type superstars, you have to have a lot of moments where it's a lot more fast-paced than that. I'm not saying like cruiserweights, ping pong balls. Definitely not, please. Good fucking no, please. But you have to have fast-paced. I mean, it was a lot slower than I thought. Shinsuke and AJ Styles do not work that pace often. And they picked the dream match on the biggest stage of them all to work that pace. Something was off, and I think AJ Styles was maybe more injured than we thought. I have no idea. But then again, he kept his championship, so maybe not. Because that was yet again another huge, shocking moment last night. When, man, AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. He went into his Kinshasa, and it went into a, man, I can spit. We're going deep into an hour. This is going to be an hour-long video easily, guys. You got another hour out of me. Now I'm starting to fumble over my fucking words. But that Kinshasa led into a Styles Clash. So it was fucking beautiful. I loved the ending sequence. I was blown away by the 1, 2, 3. I was blown away by Shinsuke Nakamura being defeated by AJ Styles so simplistically. That shows you that Vince McMahon, I don't know if he really had faith in Shinsuke to begin with or not, but then again, why would you have him win the Royal Rumble? It's amazing. Both Royal Rumble winners of 2018 failed when it counted the most. The two winners of the Royal Rumble, they picked their opponents for WrestleMania and they both lost. I'm blown away by that. They had both of them lose. This could have been a huge night for Japan especially, and to show the world that WWE has their fucking mix of high quality talent from Japan, Asuka and Shinsuke. This was WWE and Vince McMahon's way to show the world that our Japan talent is top notch, and he had them go down in defeat. I don't know how to think about that, man. Again, just like Charlotte and Asuka, if it wasn't Charlotte, I would be actually maybe even frustrated by that call to make Asuka lose that match. But it was Charlotte. Same goes for Shinsuke and AJ. It's AJ Styles. How can we sit here and complain over the top when it's AJ Styles? AJ Styles beat Shinsuke. That's not believable, not by a long shot. AJ Styles is, in my opinion, along there with Daniel Bryan, the best in the world. So was it just Vince McMahon saying, you know what, I can't do this. AJ Styles is just the best to me, and he has to hold on to that championship. And I want AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 35. Or does he have AJ Styles hold it that long? SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. Maybe in Vince's head, he sees Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles like I do. And in the process, I can also see heel Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan. Because that's what happened last night, man. After the match, which again, subpar, was not a dream match at all when it was all said and done. But after the match, Shinsuke hugged AJ Styles, got on his knee, handed him the championship. AJ Styles showed his gratitude, and Shinsuke low-blowed AJ Styles. The heel turn heard around the world. Shinsuke Nakamura then just starts kicking AJ Styles in his face in a degrading manner. That was epic. Shinsuke turns heel. I don't know why, other than maybe Vince does see Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles cluttering SmackDown Live for faces. And he said, you know what? I can't have three. And Shinsuke's not necessarily the best promo, but he is learning pretty damn good. Maybe we put a mouthpiece with him and we turn him heel. It looks like that's where Vince is going. I expect the mouthpiece to go with Shinsuke. I think it would make sense, and I think that's where they're headed. I'm just shocked, man. I'm still feeling some type of way about the whole event, especially this is one of those moments. Fucking A. Where do I put it? As much as the heel turn was cool, I still don't know if I totally agree with it, so I have to go with the match itself. This match underperformed, to say the least. To say it underperformed wouldn't be doing it justice. To say this match underperformed is being generous. This match goes in the bad column. I cannot believe I'm making this video in front of you guys right now talking about Shinsuke and AJ Styles, the dream match that I've wanted to see for a year now. And it just went into the bad column. That blows me the fuck away. But that goes to show you, if you go back and watch that match, if you know AJ Styles and Shinsuke and what they're capable of, in the match we thought we were going to get, underperformed. I'm going to move on, guys, to match number 10. This was the Raw Tag Team Championships. This was Braun Strowman and a mystery partner versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And let me tell you right now, I'm not even going to waste any fucking time. This goes right into the ugly. The ugly column. This was a fucking joke to the industry. Braun Strowman, we're expecting... I'm okay with somebody just hanging out on the apron because Braun Strowman can do the deed himself, right? So we think, do we bring out a fun moment, a Goldberg or a fucking Hulk Hogan or a Batista? Or do you have fucking Cass come out or Samoa Joe or Dean Ambrose or fucking a returning superstar, anybody, an NXT call-up? This was a prime spot to make somebody or to really have a WrestleMania moment. This was your prime spot, and it looked like we were going to get it. They put this thing right at the end, the last hour, right before the fucking main event. We thought this is going to be big. And he went out and he got a 10-year-old named Nicholas. Now, guys, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. A lot of people say, oh, he might be from Make-A-Wish, and this is, and if that's the case, what a moment. Guys, if that's the case, good for Nicholas. Much love and respect, and I wish you nothing but the best, Nicholas, if that's the case. I don't know if he's from Make-A-Wish or not, or if he's got some type of condition. Nothing but the best, man. We are all human beings on the Amplified unit, man. I promise you we want nothing but the best for you, and if we can do anything for you, we will. But this is WrestleMania, and this is not to be made a mockery of. These are Tag Team Championship straps. Road Warriors, the fucking Legion of Doom, the Demolition. These are the Heart Foundation. Teams that I grew up that fought blood, sweat, and tears for those straps. And last night, a 10-year-old named Nicholas became tag team champion. Guys, this is a joke, man. I hate more than anything in this business when they turn the business into a joke. This was right up there with a David Arquette situation. Do you guys remember David Arquette? He was in WCW. He was an actor. He was in the movie Scream. He was married to Courtney Cox, who was from Friends. Monica on Friends. He was an actor, and for some reason, I think it was Vince Russo, they brought him into WCW, and they had him win the WCW championship. Many say that's when WCW really started its death decline. This was a moment why was this done? If it's going to be done, can you not put this in like the beginning of the show? Put it on the pre-show. The pre-show! No harm, no foul. It would still be a joke. I would still not be on board. If I did the pre-show, I would still put it in the fucking ugly. But listen, it wouldn't be as frustrating. Put that on the pre-show then. Put it on the... That's the one time I would have actually said, guys, give me the cruiserweights on the main show. If I knew that was going to happen, give me the fucking cruiserweights. Any cruiserweights. Pick two people in backyard wrestling. Pick anybody in a fucking Walmart that are actually fighting over a parking spot that was taken. Put them in the ring. I don't care. Put old ECW guys in there, man. Give me the Sandman versus New Jack. I put that match in its place. How the fuck are you gonna... Braun Strowman goes out and picks a 10-year-old. Now I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they're refereeing the bell. This is just fun. I'm thinking maybe he is from Make-A-Wish or something, guys. And I'm thinking, this is a cool moment. He gets some exposure. He gets to be up there with Braun Strowman. He almost gets to start a match. That's cool. But I'm thinking the referee is not going to sanction a 10-year-old as an actual partner, right? Because that's no longer realistic. And you know on this channel, guys, I hate when things are no longer realistic. Give me realism. That's all I believe. I'm going to suspend reality, but you have to let me actually believe in the product that I'm watching. You have to make this a reality for me. So the referee looks at Nicholas, and he says, cool, makes sense. You got your partner. On what planet is that possible? That is why people like me, nonstop, every day of my fucking life, I have to defend pro wrestling. I have to defend it and talk about how it's not a shit show, clown show. Because a shit like that on our grandest stage of them all. When you know you have like Sports Center and magazines and all this fucking media attention, and you put a 10-year-old and you have him win the tag team straps against Sheamus and Cesaro, how bad do you feel about or for Sheamus and Cesaro? I feel so bad for them, man. So bad for them. They dropped the straps out of all this time to Strowman and Nicholas, a 10-year-old from the crowd. I can't... Man. It's frustrating, guys, but for a bigger reason. It's not just because they had a 10-year-old go... I mean, that's bad enough. I think we all can agree that's bad. It's frustrating because this is the shit that we're constantly trying to defend. This is the shit we're trying to get away from in pro wrestling. And I know a lot of you guys know what I mean by that. When we're talking pro wrestling with people that don't understand it, this is the shit we try to stay away from. Like, if you're going to talk pro wrestling with somebody that doesn't know a lot about pro wrestling, you're talking about WrestleMania, and they're trying to, like, understand it, and like, oh, that's a champion? Who's the tag champions on it? And you're like... Braun Strowman and Nicholas, and they're like, oh, Nicholas, that's just a random name, no wrestling name. Yeah, he's a 10-year-old kid. He just debuted last night. He just stayed on the apron. Braun Strowman beat up two other guys, and he's the champion now. How do you explain that realistically? The person you're talking to is like, wait, a 10-year-old is wrestling as he's a champ? Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a sham. It's a joke. Oh, it's a joke. Wrestling, your championships are jokes here. I could go on and on with this conversation. It's a joke. I wish I could give this 5 uglies, but I have to run this show the right way. Everything has to get a tally. But, guys, that was absolutely... That was fucking bad, man. That was, How do you possibly... Who would book that? I'm all for... If it ends up being somebody who had a condition or something and he was in a organization like Make-A-Wish, which is awesome. WWE does so much for them. And even making them a big part of the show. That's awesome. Fucking awesome. Making them a tag team champion? Like on the real... Guys, that's... Wow. I'm blown away. There's no end to that then. There's no anybody can just be champ, man. It's really just, it's bad. It's bad. If it seems like this is over the top dramatic, think about what we're talking about. Think about what happened last night. Not just that, but the moment. We all thought somebody was going to fucking show up. That was going to be a WrestleMania moment for the ages. Nicholas. There was a point where he got a tag. Strowman tagged him in, and I thought, okay, maybe this kid's like a whiz kid. Maybe he's like badass. He knows all these like fucking martial arts, and maybe he's just gonna like haul ass on Cesaro and Sheamus. Or maybe he's one of those people that like, I don't know what it's called, but like they look really, really young and they're small. They look like a kid, but they're actually older. There's like a condition for, like, I'm thinking all these things because he just got tagged in. And then he just like ran back to Strowman and tagged him in. I'm like, what am I watching? Even at a B-rated pay-per-view, a Battleground, or an In Your House, or a Great American Bash, this would be pathetic. At WrestleMania, in the last hour, you pulled this shit? To a casual fan, this is going to sound epic. Especially if we find out it was Make-A-Wish. So this is going to be epic to them. What a cool moment WWE did, putting a smile on a kid's face. To actual fans of the sport, of the product, of professional wrestling, you guys know what I mean when I say this was a mockery of the business. And it actually makes me fucking actually pretty, beyond frustrated, it actually makes me sad to see that last night. Very fucking sad. There's no choice. I have to put that also in the bag, guys. It has to be. That has an ugly and a bad. And an ugly counts for 2 bads, don't forget. So that actually just got 3 bads. I have no choice. It has to get another tally. I'm going to move on because there's nothing else to say. Match number 11 ended up being the ultimate main event of the night for Vince McMahon. We knew what it was going to be. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Vince McMahon is so stubborn that he did not learn his lesson the last 3 years. What part of you are killing this guy's career are you not understanding? This goes beyond your stubbornness, Vince. You are killing Roman. Roman Reigns could have been one of the most dominant, badass heels of all time 2 years ago, at least 1 year ago. And you're so stubborn, you keep trying to get him to be this face. It's not happening. I have a lot of people that were in New Orleans last night, and they told me the exact percentage of people that were booing Reigns last night. You guys ready for this? This was more than 3 people. They gave me the exact percentage. One person actually gave me 90. But everyone else gave me the exact percentage. 80, at least, they said. At least 80. Again, one person who goes to many more events than even I do told me 90% was booing Roman Reigns. It's over. It's done. I can no longer support, and you guys know in the last several months, I said I'm taking a bipartisan take on this. I don't love Roman. I don't hate Roman like people hate him. I don't love him like people love him. I'm in the middle, and I'm trying to see both sides. No more. It's over. 80 to 90% at WrestleMania. Disgusted with this guy in your main event. Not even a fun boo, like booing a heel. This is disgusted. And that's who you keep closing out your shows. You're so stubborn, not only are you killing Roman Reigns' career, you're making it less fun for us. People that come around the world to all come to WrestleMania and they leave with a bad taste in their mouth. Why would you do that to your top talent, Roman, and why would you do that to your fans? Pull your head out of your ass! The match, they beat the shit out of each other. I was good to see that, guys. Honestly, I mean that. It was really good to see them beat the shit out of each other because I knew Lesnar and Roman would. But I needed more. If you're going to actually put that in the main event, it has to be more than just a shitload of Superman punches. A shitload of spears and a shitload of superplexes. And by the way, not realistic when you're kicking out of 5 F5s. It was at least 4. I think it was at least 5, wasn't it? F5s, guys. He kicked out of like 3 or 4 of them, and then maybe the 5th or 6th one he finally got defeated on. On what planet is somebody kicking out of 4 fucking F5s? Or does it take 5 to beat somebody? 5 F5s? From now on, when I see Brock Lesnar beat somebody on 1, I'm going to look at them as the weakest motherfucker in the world now. Even if it is Nicholas. That was not realistic. That was way too many F5s. And in the end, we were shocked. Lesnar kept his championship, defeated Roman Reigns. But then we all saw why, didn't we? WrestleMania went off the air. They went to their music package, which usually ends WrestleMania. But if you guys didn't leave, if you guys weren't too tired and shut it off during the music package, after the music package, the WWE Network went back to ringside. And Roman Reigns was doing the fucking triumphant, I gave it my all walk of shame. And they had Roman Reigns walking back up the ramp and his music starts playing. This is usually where Vince wants the crowd to give the clap and hey, you gave it the attaboy. Good job, Roman. So Vince is still trying to pull the sympathy card. All we can hope for is that somebody talked sense to Vince McMahon that really can get through to him. And maybe tonight we see a different side of Roman. But this is not fucking working for me anymore. I tried to take a bipartisan approach. It's not working, guys. Vince McMahon will not learn, and he is going to continue to ruin Roman even more, and he is going to continue to put Roman in the main event of every WrestleMania, and we are going to continue to fucking show our displeasure. There was beach balls last night. There was fucking CM Punk chants. This is awful chants. The crowd was disgusted with your main event. Get it through your fucking head. The only reason, I swear to you, the only reason this doesn't go in the ugly is because Roman and Brock went out there and beat the shit out of each other. That's the only fucking reason that this is going into... Do I put it in the fucking ugly? I'm having second thoughts, man. Do I put this motherfucker in there? Maybe I do. Nah, motherfucker. We're gonna put it in the fucking bad. We'll put it in the fucking bad. I'm still having second thoughts. I want to put that motherfucker in the ugly. And that was that, man. Brock Lesnar keeps his championship, and we see where that goes from here. He's definitely going to UFC. Dana White already confirmed that. So does he drop the strap tonight? Does he hand it over? Does he lose it tonight? Did he sign an extension for a little bit to lose it at the next pay-per-view? We'll see. But we'll see. What I do want to do, guys, I feel... I can't go against what I said. I'm going to take one of those fucking bads off for the tag team match. I can't put 2 marks. I am going to take one of those bads off. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bad. Because my policy here is I am trying not to give 2 marks for a match. I'm trying to be composed. Every match should get 1 tally. In the good, the bad, or the ugly. So that Raw tag match will remain in the ugly. I did give it another bad, but I'm not going to go that route. Yeah, there's no reason to go that route. I'll put it in the ugly and ugly alone. So that was WrestleMania. And if we tally it up, I believe they just became a good pay-per-view, man. By literally 1 tally. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. 6 in the good, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bad, and 1 ugly. 1 ugly counts for 2 bad, so that is 4 and 2. That's 6. 6 and 6. Fucking A, brah. Oh, shit. Wow, me taking off that tally just made a big fucking... We got a fucking tie, guys. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugly counts as 2. 6 and 6, that's a tie. Fucking A. I fuck up my own fucking tag. I gotta make sure that's right? Yeah, man. I put the IC as a good. I put the fucking women's strap as a good. US strap was a good because it was what was supposed to happen. Match number 4 was obviously good. Rousey and Angle. SmackDown straps was a bad. That had to be. Undertaker and Cena. I put that as a good because it's the fucking Undertaker. Daniel Bryan and Shane versus Owens and Zayn. That's obviously good. Raw Women's Strap was bad. SmackDown Heavyweight Championship was bad. Raw Tag Straps was ugly. And Universal Championship was bad. Oh, man. 2, 3, 6, and 6. We got a fucking tie. So how the fuck do I, we can't call it a good, bad pay-per-view. We gotta have a tiebreaker. I guess we go to the pre-show. Let's go to the fucking pre-show, guys. This is gonna determine this. So we're gonna add a little more here. First match, what was it? Oh, Men's Battle Royal. It was a schmaz, so that's fucking... Actually, but that ended with Bray Wyatt coming back, helping Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy joined forces, or should I say Bray Wyatt joined forces with... Bray Wyatt joined forces with Matt Hardy and joined his broken universe, woken universe, whatever we want to call it. That visual of Bray Wyatt being down on his knees and Matt Hardy with his hands in the air, that was fucking epic, man. That's actually going to go in the good. Fuck yeah. So now we go to match 2. Cruiserweights. Man, that was a dud, dude. That was pretty fucking boring. Everybody said how fucking great this match was going to be. Not only was it not great, it wasn't even fucking good. I mean, that match was subpar for those are your final 2 in your Cruiserweight tournament. Thank goodness that was on the main show. Thank goodness that did not start the show. That didn't even main event the pre-show, thank goodness. That was not good, guys. That was bad. So that original one. So that one's off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2. 7, 7. This is great. This is probably the best good, bad, and ugly we've ever had. It comes down to one match. The Women's Battle Royal of the pre-show. Who would have thought it all comes down to a pre-show Battle Royal with the women? But that's what the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what's going to determine if WrestleMania was good or not. So let's talk about it, man. The Battle Royal was... Actually, Kairi Sane jumping off the fucking top rope in this Battle Royal with an amazing Macho Man flying elbow. That was the highlight for me in this match. And now that Asuka, the streak's over, if they introduce tag titles one day down the line, I would love to see Asuka and Kairi Sane as a dominant tag team championship duo for the women. Asuka and Kairi Sane, take my money. That's a dynamite tag team. Nobody would ever beat them. There'd be a new streak. And this one would be fucking absolutely valid. So I love that. I love the face-to-face with Bayley and Sasha because that was the moment, the first time of the night where the crowd was on their feet, electric, intrigued. That was really cool. And I love Bayley just tossing Sasha over like, I got you, bitch. And we'll see where this goes. They're going to have their SummerSlam match. This is bittersweet with Sasha and Bayley. They're going to have a main match at SummerSlam probably, right, guys? And you're like, oh, CBC, it's okay. No, it's not, guys. That's a consolation prize. I'm going to watch that match actually a little bit still fucking kind of pissed. Like, they weren't good enough to you, Vince, that you could put them on the main show at WrestleMania. But they're SummerSlam worthy. Okay, Vince. We'll give it to Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn likes seeing them. They've seen it already, man. New Orleans would have loved to have seen it. The biggest stage in the world would have loved to have seen it. Anyway, Kairi Sane's flying elbow, Bayley and Sasha's little altercation that they had, and my girl at the end, that just made my mind up. Naomi! You all know I love Sasha Banks, but Naomi, that's my girl, my original gal, the one we got behind for WrestleMania 33 and said this is a travesty that nobody is backing Naomi when she is so fucking good at what she does. Not only is she one of the most athletic, but she's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. She came from nothing to having everything, talent-wise, and she did it through hard work. And a lot of it, natural talent and athleticism. You put the package together, Naomi deserved to be champion, and at 33, we helped her get there. So it was cool to see Naomi, even though it was on the pre-show, to have a WrestleMania moment like that, coming out of nowhere at the end, tossing Bayley over. Naomi wins the Battle Royal for the women. That goes in the good, and I think that just made WrestleMania fucking barely. Because that last hour to 2 hours of WrestleMania was nauseating. But there was enough. Who would have thought it would come down to Naomi to make WrestleMania a good pay-per-view? Let's just make sure I'm accurate here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was ejected. 5. Ugly counts as 2, so that's 7 bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good. That's the tally. I'm shutting the fuck up. WrestleMania will go down as a good pay-per-view according to Benson. I still feel so many ways about it. I can tell Benson's most likely right because I am going to go back and watch WrestleMania again. I always know when something's good if I go back and watch it again. That's when I know something's good or shocking or intriguing. And I'm actually going to watch a shitload, probably the whole thing again. So that's when I know it actually is good. But there's a lot that I did disagree with, and most of that came in the last hour and a half to 2 hours. A lot of that was nauseating and just tragic. But there was so much really cool, epic, shocking shit here. And Ronda Rousey stealing the entire show. When it was all said and done, Benson has it as a good pay-per-view, guys. The Amplified Man, we're going on to Monday Night Raw tonight. They say this is the funnest Raw in all of the year. The year-long calendar year for Monday Night Raw. This is the funnest, the most epic, where the fans literally hijack the show and the most fun shit happens, where we're going to all tune in tonight, aren't we? New Orleans should be on fire. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for Raw's review and reaction. The Amplified Man, lots of coffee and ass whipping the day after WrestleMania. Let me know what you guys thought about it down below. B motherfucking C. And I'll check you.